I'm pretty sure that by now you've heard of Snapchat ads and heard how great it is and how it's so underpriced and there's not that much competition and so forth. And one of the reasons that's the case, it's because Snapchat ads has a higher barrier to entry than any other advertising platform. It has a higher barrier to entry than Facebook, because with Facebook, you could run a simple $5 campaign. You can't do that with Snapchat. You need a minimum of $20 spent every day. So if you can't afford it, if you're just starting off with Snapchat ads or you're just starting off with dropshipping, then stay away from Snapchat, use any other type of advertising strategy, and then start to upgrade towards Snapchat ads. But if you can't afford it, don't start with it. It's not a good starting point. With that out of the way, let me show you guys how to create a Snapchat ad. You're gonna wanna go to forbusiness.snapchat.com. I'm gonna leave the link down below and then just select login. I'm not gonna go through the login process just because it's self-explanatory and by now you guys should know how to log into this stuff. Then we're gonna go into Insta Create. We're not gonna worry about advanced. I'm gonna be making more videos on Snapchat and just talking about different parts of it and how you could apply it to your business and give you guys different examples of different businesses and different ad examples. So I'm gonna give you guys a general idea of how to advertise, and then I'm gonna be making videos on showing you guys different examples so you could implement those examples to whatever niche you're into. Then we're brought up here, we're gonna select website visits because we want to send the customer to our website. Now, important thing to keep in mind is if you are sending a customer to a store that has a lot of products, you wanna send them directly to the product that you want them to purchase. For example, if you have a general store, and I don't recommend you open a general store, but this is a good example. If you have a general store and you are selling to the dog niche, when you're advertising, you don't want to send the person directly to your home page because they don't know where to look. They saw whatever you were advertising and they want that, but they don't know how to search for it, or they don't want to waste their time searching for it. So in that case, you want to always link directly to the product that you're trying to sell, never link to the home page unless your home page is your product page. But in this case, make sure to go straight to the link or straight to the page that you want your customer to visit. So I'm just gonna use my website as an example, but let's just say that I wanted to send people to a particular page on my website. I wouldn't just send them to mrecomm.com because they wouldn't know where to go. So if I was selling the course, I would go something like /advanced e-commerce kit. And then let's just say if this was the page where the advanced e-commerce kit lived in my website, I would send them directly here. I wouldn't send them to mrecomm.com because I don't want them to waste time trying to find it. That time that they spend trying to find it could be those few seconds that they decide that they don't want it and it's not worth them looking for it. So make sure to make the transaction as seamless as possible. And if you want to use the images that are on your website, you could obviously select this. I wouldn't recommend it, and if you guys are doing e-commerce, I also wouldn't recommend it. I would just recommend that you create your own images. And now for the image, I'm just gonna add an image, a product shot that I took. If you guys want to learn how to professionally brand yourself, let me know, and I'm gonna be making more videos to show you guys how to present yourself properly. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm gonna be creating more videos that are geared towards different niches or giving you guys example of how I would create a ad for a different niche or for whatever niche. And that's gonna help you guys create this artwork, but don't worry too much about it right now. I'm just showing you guys the process of creating the ad. So just select whatever you want. In this case, I'm just gonna be selling this coaster, so that's gonna be the main focus of this product. Let's just go with the brand that's already here. Again, guys, this is an example. So I just put the brand's name, and then for the headline, it doesn't have to be, you really don't have to put that much thought to it. It could just be something simple. If you guys have free shipping, make sure to put that in the headline. If you guys have 30% off, have some sort of code, have some sort of promotion going on, or offer some sort of services, you wanna make sure you add that there. Anything that hooks the customer, anything that grabs their attention. So just make it short and simple. In this case, I'm just gonna go with 30% off for a limited time. For the call to action, we're gonna either select more or shop now. Either one of those two is fine, but preferably shop now. That usually makes more sense, especially for e-commerce. For the templates, you could leave it like it is if you have a good image, but if you want to add something to it, then you could just select something else. You could just select whatever else you want, or any type of frame if you want a solid color, or I don't know if you guys could see the difference, but the image is behind this image. So just select whatever template you want. This is going to be personal preference. There's no wrong or right way to select this. This is going to be up to you, and you guys are going to have to test to see what what works and what gets you the most results. You are never gonna know which type of template is gonna get you the best conversion until you test it out. So don't be afraid to experiment with different templates, and don't feel like you need to select one over the other, or you need to spend so much time selecting the right template to get you the right sale. Don't overthink it, select whatever you want, and if it doesn't work, then test a different template. It's as easy as that. So just make sure that you're constantly testing, and that's very important with any type of advertising platform. Make sure that you're always testing and not try to overly engineer the ad. Just test as much as possible, because that's how you're gonna know if your ad is gonna perform well or not, and there's no way to know about it without actually testing. And for the caption, if you guys have some sort of promotional code or anything like that, I would recommend you add it there, or anything that hooks the customer. Just basically take advantage of all the little parts where you're able to write and try to hook the customer. That's what you want. I say this a lot, but it's easier to sell to a audience that you are a part of, or a niche that you're a part of. If you guys are into photography and you create a dropshipping store related to photography and sell photography gear, or try to target people in the photography industry, it becomes a lot easier to sell to them. The reason it's easier to sell is because you're a part of that niche, you know about it, you're passionate about it, and that passion transcends, and you show that off to your customers. You talk to them about it, and I'm pretty sure they're also gonna be passionate about it. So if you guys are all passionate about the same thing, it's a lot easier to get a sell than trying to force it into somebody when you don't believe in the product yourself. So after we design it, this is pretty much it. Like, there's really not much to designing the ad. There's obviously more things you could do to make it look a little bit more professional, but that's the basic gist of the ad. Then for demographics, you're gonna select what demographics you wanna target. If you guys had previous targeting experience or advertising experience, let's just say that you ran Facebook ads before this, then you could use the information from Facebook ads and just put it in here. So select the genders that you were targeting, select the age groups, the languages, all that, so you're not starting completely from scratch. Now, if you don't have any history of advertising, if this is your first platform, then you would want to go ahead and start split testing everything and just start from scratch, start testing, split testing as much as possible. But if you already have data to help you out, then go ahead and do that. That's going to give you a heads up or a head start. So go ahead and select that. And for the ages, you always want to go a little bit younger with Snapchat ads. When we get to the advertising section, it works a little bit different than Facebook ads. With Facebook ads, what you could do is you could select people who are into photography and who like dogs, and you're gonna get a audience that are into photography and like dogs. But with Snapchat ads, you're gonna get an audience of people who are into photography and people who like dogs, and they don't necessarily match, or they don't have those two things in common. That's the thing with Snapchat ads. Think of Snapchat ads as you're just targeting everybody in that niche, and it's not mixing, and you're not selecting a audience that has a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Like the example with the photography and the dogs, you're not selecting an audience that likes photography and dogs, you're selecting either photography or dogs. So that's the thing to keep in mind with Snapchat ads. So make sure that you select a category or a couple of categories that make sense. So if it's photography, you might want to select camera gear, filming, stuff like that, but not too different like camera and dogs, because it's not going to get you good results. That's another thing to keep in mind when you're interest targeting on Snapchat ads. Go ahead and select whatever best fits the niche that you're trying to sell to. And after you do that, let's just select whatever. After you do that, you could select the device. And if you're doing e-commerce, this honestly shouldn't even matter to you, because you're trying to sell to everybody, unless you're selling a device that is specific for a device, or you're selling a case that's specific for a device, or something that's specific for a device. Let's just say that you were selling iPhone cases, and obviously you would select iOS, or Android, you would select Android. But apart from that, I don't really see any of you guys using this unless it's specific to a certain device, like if you're selling cases or screen protectors or stuff like that. When you get to the budget, you want to select the time and date. Personally, I like running my ads for about 3 days. Within those 3 days, I'm able to tell whether or not the ad's gonna be successful or has chance of becoming successful. If I don't get much traction in those 2 days, I generally kill the ad. I know I get a little impatient at times, but I'm so used to running ads that within the first 2 days, if I don't see some sort of movement that I like, I kill the ad. I get impatient. I'm like, fuck, I'm just just wasting money. But that's not what we're talking about. Like I said, I'm going to be creating a video where I'm talking more about strategy and different types of strategies for different niches. So right now we're just giving you guys the basic rundown of creating the ad. Make sure that you leave your budget at $20 because you need a minimum of $20 a day, and that's gonna be your daily budget. Estimate daily average swipe ups, 34 to 63. This doesn't mean that you're going to always get 34 to 63. This is what it's averaging out. You might get less if you have a shitty ad, and you might get a shit more if you have a really good ad. So just use this as a general guideline. Don't really take it to heart and be like, oh, I'm gonna get 63 or be expecting 63 or between there. And then for the business address, this should be pretty self-explanatory. Add your card information and hit publish and you're good to go. So while we're waiting for the ad to be approved, you wanna set up your Snap Pixel so that you're able to track everything that goes on your store. Just like the Facebook Pixel, you wanna head over to the Snapchat and then just select Snap Pixel. And that's gonna bring you here, set up the pixel. We're gonna copy this code here and we're gonna head over to our Shopify store. Under online store, we're gonna select actions, edit code, and then we're gonna go to the theme.liquid and we're gonna scroll down. We're gonna scroll down until we see, where is it? Okay, here we go. We see the content for header. So you wanna place your code right here between these two. So we're just gonna place it there, hit save, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Finish. And then when you start running advertising, or when you start advertising and you start seeing people swipe up and visit your store, you're gonna see all that information appear on Snapchat. So that's how you set up the pixel and how you start with Snapchat ads. And like I said, if you guys want more content that is geared towards niche specific, for example, if you wanna see me create an ad for a particular niche or a store or some sort of content for it, let me know so I could do that. I really enjoy creating brands. Feel free to message me and let's see what we create. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and let me know what other type of content you want to see.